Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Season 10, episode 11. And if you listen to season 9, episode 20, that was with Kelley from Brain Performance Technology. So this is podcast number 2. Kelley, thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Greg. Again.
Of course. Of course. And then even before we started recording, we're already prepping for podcast episode number 3. So Brain Performance Technologies is our proud sponsor of the Overwatch Collective podcast. So super excited to have them on board. I'm going to have Kelley do an introduction of themselves and her in a few seconds here. First, I'm going to give our therapy statistics for the Overwatch Collective. So as of today, March 9, we've either fully covered or financially assisted 3,121 therapy sessions, connected 297 people to our culturally competent and vetted therapists, and then we just hit $328,000 spent on therapy. So those are the quick nonprofit statistics for us. So I just want to get out there every few episodes. I like giving an update on that. But other than that, we appreciate your support, everybody. Thanks for listening. Kelley, give us a quick intro of yourself and Brain Performance Technologies, please.
Hello. And first of all, congratulations. That is quite an accomplishment and a much needed thing. And I know that your community really appreciates all the hard work you do. So congratulations. When last I was here, I'm coming to you today from my own podcast room because I have a podcast all about parenting neurodivergence, and it's called Refrigerator Moms, and the RM back there is for the Refrigerator Moms. So when last we spoke, we talked about the third category of mental health brain care, the treatments that are non-invasive and drug-free as a way to deliver brain care to help in your mental health, all your modalities, right? So if you're treating the brain is going to respond better to therapy. It's going to require less medications. The medications that you take are going to be more effective. And when we last spoke, the only method of payment we had was TRICARE. The only insurance reimbursements we were appointed with were TRICARE. That has changed. I'm really excited to report that since we last spoke, we have brought on interventional psychiatrists. Interventional psychiatrists are those folks that are trained in not just medication and not just psychotherapy, but they're also trained in neuromodulation. They're also trained in brain stimulation treatments, the brain care that I speak so highly of. So these are the psychiatrists that can prescribe for insurance coverage. Very excited. We have psychiatrists all the way through the state of California. I'm working on Nevada. I don't have any in Nevada yet, but that's coming. In the state of California, we pretty much can cover any health plan, any commercial health plan in the state of California. There are requirements that the carriers have for coverage, but they're pretty seamless, including Kaiser. So we are a Kaiser community provider. I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but Kaiser does cover TMS. And some Kaisers, they do it at the closest hospital. So it just depends on where you're located, but it is something to discuss with your Kaiser doctor that prescribes medication or they discuss your mental health with, because TMS is a treatment option for you.
Yeah, very cool. Sweet. So I didn't know that about Kaiser either, right? Which is the whole reason why this is so beneficial in doing this and getting this out there. Kaiser and then Blue Shield. So tapping into the first responder community as well, making it easier for the first responder community to get this treatment and not just being the military for TRICARE. So I love to hear that, able to hit more people and help more.
So it is you have to jump through a little bit more hoops with Kaiser. It's something you have to discuss with the person that prescribes your medications, which may be your primary care physician. It may be a psychiatrist. It just depends. It does require a little advocacy because a lot of the doctors, even your own doctor, doesn't know about TMS, but it is sitting in your Kaiser plan. And if you have any questions and you want to know how to access it, give us a call and we can help you. The other thing I wanted to tell you, the really most exciting thing that I think has been going on in Brain Performance Technologies for the last couple of months is that when last we spoke, there's a new modality, St. Stanford Accelerated Intelligent Neuromodulation Therapy, and that's a mouthful. Again, it was developed at Stanford for an accelerated protocol. So it's 50 sessions in 1 week, right? 10 times a day for 5 days. It's very effective for suicidal ideation, treatment-resistant depression, but it hasn't enjoyed any insurance coverage yet. Blue Shield of California and Blue Shield, the federal version of Blue Shield, now accept it. And other Blue Shield plans are quickly following. Blue Shield has a reputation of being the most proactive insurance carrier, and where they go, others follow, but they're usually there's a year or two lag behind. So them covering it is fantastic if you're already a Blue Shield member, and good news for those that have their care through another insurance carrier because they usually follow. So give us a call. The accelerated treatment version is available to you. It's highly effective, and I want everybody to have access to it.
Yeah, I love that. And that's going to significantly help with the cost, obviously, right? Going through insurance, because like what we talked about last time with this technology and how expensive it is, like now we, like the ones that are working overtime to pay for things, et cetera, busy schedules, everything can now
Yeah, and you and I had
access
talked
to
about
this.
having a trying to go after a grant or a fund for TMS, but we don't really need to do that. If people are insured, they're entitled to this. So we can put the money towards therapy.
Oh, it saves us. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. So Blue Shield, Kaiser, I know because I know a lot of first responders in California already have Blue Shield. That's what I had at my last agency, and I think that's what my brother
Okay,
has in
great.
Southern
Yeah,
California
then give us
too.
a
So
call. That
it's perfect.
you have access to whatever modality is most appropriate for you. The accelerated version, the 50 treatments in 5 days, is pretty intense. Some people, it's a little too intense for some people. Some people would prefer to just take it slow, 5 days a week for 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. It's preference. It's what you need. It's what you have a conversation with the psychiatrist, prescribing psychiatrist, and what they feel is most appropriate. Again, it is probably the Saint version is probably the most effective for suicidal ideation, but they all work. So, this is your year to try something new and to try brain care.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love it. Um, and then let's talk about the privacy. I know that's something that you want to get into. So if you're a first responder service member listening to this, like, and you have questions, I know I already mentioned in the beginning, but go back and listen to season 9, episode 20. That's where we break down everything about brain performance technologies. This is kind of just an update. So if you have any questions and you're like, what is this? Where are you located, etc., pause this episode, go back, listen to 9, episode 20, and then come back and follow this through. But yes, Kelley, one of the big things with our community obviously is the privacy, right? Not wanting people to know. And the important thing is that brain performance technologies and everything is covered
Absolutely,
under
yeah.
HIPAA, so it's completely
We had a
confidential.
couple
So
questions
can you
about that.
elaborate?
I know privacy is a great concern to people, as it should be, right? It's your health. It is fully covered under HIPAA,
Yep.
covered by law under HIPAA. What that means is that your care is not up for discussion. We do have some people that are so gracious and want to do testimonials because they feel so much better after treatment. Those folks have agreed to waive their rights to privacy specifically so that they can tell people about it. But, that's a personal choice that some folks have graciously and generously decided to do. That is, everything is HIPAA compliant it should be HIPAA compliant in any mental health treatment, in any therapy session. So never let that stop you. You're worried that everybody's going to find out. That might just be the depression talking, right? That might be despair masquerading as cynicism. It might not really be, it might just be an excuse to not help yourself. So that is, I can vouch for the applicability of HIPAA in this case.
Yeah, there you go. And it's so funny, and it's such a great point that you bring that up, Kelley, about the excuse, right? Because our community, right, you'll find any excuse to not go to therapy, to not get brain work done. So it's like if one little thing becomes a hiccup or there's too much work, then it's maybe this wasn't for me, or this is too much, like,
Right.
and then we just
So one
lost
thing,
that
and
person to
then,
getting amazing
we
treatment.
have had a couple of people call us and say, is this just hooey? Is this just, mumble jumbo? This is just, it feels odd to put a magnet on your forehead or in the back of your head. It feels weird. And again, I would counter that maybe that cynicism is maybe just the depression talking, because depression will trick your brain into thinking that, nothing is gonna ever help, right? But I can combat that cynicism with an even more cynical point, which is, would an insurance carrier pay for it if it didn't work? I mean, they don't pay for anything they don't have to. So don't let that stop you, and don't let that deter you.
Correct. Yeah. That'll Exactly. That'll shut them up
Yes.
really quick when you say, "Oh, actually, it exist, believe it or not." Um, And then Kelly, one of the cool things, and like we said, I don't know if it's from doing the podcast sponsorship through the Overwatch Collective or our last episode. Obviously, the Overwatch Collective was founded and operated and essentially raised, if you want to say that, in the Bay Area. So, like, a lot of people know us out there. But since we've done the podcast sponsorship and we did our podcast episode and been blasting Brain Performance Technologies on our Instagram and social media, it seems like you got a pretty cool connection. And I like we said, I don't know if it's from our podcast and
Yeah,
everything,
I
but I
hope so too,
want
and
to
I
say
believe
yes.
that
I
it
hope
was,
so.
because a
So
couple
tell us a little bit
of
about
weeks
it.
after I appeared on your podcast and I talked about the importance of brain care, and I talked about brain care as the third modality of mental health that is lesser known, I got a call from a wellness company that puts on employee health fairs. Those are events that you go to learn about your health plan and what your options are, and to meet providers of healthcare. And they had a request from someone to have a brain care vendor at the event. So of course we're going. We're going to numerous events now. We're going to the City of San Jose's mental health fair, and that is, I think they're all at the city building there, right across at City Hall. The City of San Jose PD. I mean, I kudos to your crew there. The City of San Jose Safety, the City of San Jose Airport, and the Santa Clara Valley Water District. We're going to be going to all of those employee health fairs where you're going to be bringing a machine so I can show people what it is that we do in real time. The thing is that everybody that sees the machines knows how cool it is. It's all right. Oh, that's cool. Neuroscience is cool, right? It's cool. It's just neat. It's a neat thing to see. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to talk to people about their health plan and about brain care as part of their health plan. So thank you, Overwatch Collective. And come see us at the events. I think they start in the spring and they go all through the fall.
Sweet. Yeah, go see them. When you do get the event dates and locations and everything, make sure you let me know so I can post it on our Instagram and advertise that as well. But yeah, we have done a sponsorship for an event with San Jose Police Department with their Police Officers Association. And then in that email, I also mentioned you guys as well. So maybe there's maybe that's what it was. I don't know, but I love it. I love to see that you're going to be doing events, that you're getting Blue Shield, like things are, we're getting traction.
I'm really impressed with all of our interventional psychiatrists that are a part of our team now. They're wonderful, amazing people. They know this stuff inside and out. And, again, brain care, transcranial magnetic stimulation, and all of the iterations of transcranial magnetic stimulation are FDA approved. They have been around since 2008. They haven't taken off the way that a new pill for depression has taken off, but that's okay because I'm on it now, Greg. I'm here and I'm beating the drum and I don't stop until I have put a magnet on anybody that needs its head, right? Anybody that wants it, that's my goal.
Yeah, sweet. No, I love it. It makes me super excited from when we first started talking, when one of our board of directors members came to do a site visit and we did a FaceTime because I'm in Louisiana now.
Yeah, and the
so
other
to
thing
see the progression and everything, like this is what makes me happy. Like this is awesome.
Is in and of itself taking root, right? You as a consumer have a lot more power than sometimes right? Because I always say that the providers have to scale, you don't, meaning that they have to get more market share. Blue Shield wants to be the premier provider. They want you to, use their plan, and everybody else wants to keep up with Blue Shield. It's the way it goes. So the more you demand these treatments, the more they're accessible to you, the more they're available for everybody. And so that's sort of the goal and what's happening. And there's not a lot I can say about PTSD, but suffice it to say, you'll be the first person I call when I get some news on PTSD. It is a clinical trial that has been in the works for quite some time, and approval is imminent. In the meantime, I will say, if you think you are struggling with PTSD, and I'm sure you are, don't assume that it's happening in a vacuum and that a depression diagnosis isn't also appropriate, because usually they go hand in hand. And a lot of times folks don't even realize it, which is why I'm very excited about the interventional psychiatry, because they can spot it a mile away and you don't have to delay care until, you think that PTSD is covered. So just give us a call and have the conversation. You can find us at
Sweet. Yeah, and then
brainperformancetechnologies.
on that note, where can people
Email
find
us
you?
at
Shout out the
ask at
website, their phone
1BPT.
call,
On the
et cetera.
website is all of our phone numbers. Keegan, Keegan, you can ask for him anytime. He answers the phone. He is, I mean, there's several people that answer the phone, but he takes most of the inquiries, and he can answer any questions about your health plan and help you. We really try to stay with you through the process of the first phone call to insurance authorization, because depending on your plan, it could be a little tricky. But we get it. We help you get it done, and we want you to get it done, and we want to work with you. And last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a plea for anybody that wants to do Saint with a friend. So Saint is, like I said, it's 50 treatments. It's 10 times a day for 5 days straight. Kind of a long week. But what we have found since I was here last is that if you do it with a friend, it certainly bring a friend, but maybe two guys want to do it together, it makes the week go by so much faster, and we can accommodate that in the clinic, and you might have a better time together. You might even find yourself enjoying the week off. So that's my take me up on it, right? Lunch is on me if you and Fred want to come and do Saint together.
Sweet. I love it. I love it. It's so cool to see the progression, and it's crazy to think that a few months from now, like how many people will be helped by this, and like in the future, how being able to go through not just TRICARE now, but also other insurances, and like
Well, and
how you
also
mentioned Keegan is able
also,
to hop on the phone
people
with
want to
you, walk you
know.
through
They want to talk to a
everything. It's
person.
like it's
I mean, how many
streamlining
times
the
are we having
process
this
and making it
experience
easier
these
for our
days where you're
community.
in a
So
queue,
I
or you're
appreciate
talking
you.
to a robot, or you're on a chat? I mean, it drives people crazy. So Keegan is, and he will answer the phone and he will have an actual conversation with you. We feel like that's important. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, perfect. It's not an AI operator. No, sweet. Anything else, Kelly? I know this is a quick update one. And then I think
Yeah.
for the next episode, if you guys are listening to this, we're going to discuss workers' comp.
Yeah. So
I know there's still some work that's got to be done there. So we're
if you
kind of
are a
decided to
first
hold
responder,
until
technically you are presumed
we
to
lock
have
that
a
down,
mental
right?
health condition associated with your work. You don't have to prove it but from what as I'm digging into that and getting into the workers' comp space, I feel like I'm not ready to have that conversation yet, because I want to really have my ducks in a row. But it can and should be another avenue for care, but that's coming. We will talk about that at a later time. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Stand by for episode number 3. Shortly, we'll have like 6 episodes together. Who knows? Sweet. All right. Kelly, appreciate you coming on once again.
Yes, and thank you
Amazing work.
for
You guys are
being a
absolutely
great
crushing
partner,
over there.
Greg, and
Love
thank you
to
for all
see the
you're doing.
progress, and looking
It's
forward to
hard
the
to find.
future. But
It's hard to find
this kind of wraps up the quick episode update.
nonprofits that are really putting the nonprofit into nonprofit. You know what I mean? Everybody is
Cool.
doing something. They want to do the minimum they can do, but have a beautiful website or have a fancy run or have but you are really like every dime you make is going back to the people that you serve. And, it's an honor to be a partner with you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Likewise.
much.
It's a collective effort to help the community. So that's what we always say here. Sweet. All right. Well, hope you have a good rest of your day, Kelly. Thanks again for coming on.